Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Friday Live with Bradley Maruyama from
Yeah,
Allstate Insurance.
welcome, Bradley. How's life treating you with this pandemic?
Like I always tell everyone, it can always be better.
Sure.
Different times, different types of processes, but
Yeah.
we're managing. We gotta
Okay.
adapt. Yep.
All right. So we got about another 26 minutes here to go through this conversation. Tell us about yourself. We know who you are, but people watching live may not know. Are you from here, from somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm originally born here in Honolulu. Grew up in IAEA. Went to Mid Pacific Institute. Graduated from the University of Hawaii. Been doing insurance now for 16 years. We have a full team of 7 licensed staff. Very family-style business. It's not
Yeah.
very corporately structured. And I guess our motto is to continuously improve on all aspects of the business, but most of all, customer service is most important.
Yeah. What differentiates you guys from, most people don't have an understanding of the differences between brokerages and or agents. What do you think is your value proposition for potential clients?
I think what makes us different is number one, it's the moment of truth that we always talk about. Claims is very
Yeah.
important because a lot of people pay premiums. In fact, I got a survey today, which was 0 out of 10, and the reason why I'm talking about the survey was I wasn't the agent, but it showed up on my survey on my webpage. And a lot of people, because they're paying premiums, some people are paying more to be with an agency. Some people are paying less, but some people expect service. They want to know that I'm paying premium for a service to be rendered. And so a lot of times it's that time when you file the claim, I'm paying premium. What is my agent or what is my agency going to do for me? Are they going to walk
Yeah.
me through it? Are they going to send me to a 1-800 number or tell me to file it online? Well, at our agency, what makes us different is we're going to handhold you through the process. We're going to follow up with you, make sure that you're getting contacts from the adjuster, that you're getting contact from the roofer. And if it's not covered, what is the reason for it? So I think that's
Sure.
most important, that the clients know that they're paying a premium and in return they're getting good service.
Yeah.
I just wanted to chime in if any of our viewers have any insurance questions for Bradley Maruyama. Please type them in. We'll be answering them live. And I got a quick question. So Bradley, what got you into insurance? Why insurance?
It's initially I was in floor covering, so I was in the whole housing business. I was wholesaling floor covering to developments like Castle and Cook and Gentry, and it was just putting in floors, to these contractors. And as for life fulfilling goals, it wasn't doing it for me. I
Yeah.
was putting in nice floors and people were happy, but I wanted to do something more important that could impact someone's life or save someone's livelihood or help somebody out with a car accident. So I found it to be a better career, number one, for the long haul, and as well as being able to fulfill my dream of being a philanthropist and volunteering time and also helping people with their life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a great
And
reason to be in insurance.
Yeah.
We've been able to experience that firsthand.
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to talk to the people as far as what we call vendors we trust, and put that up there on the screen. So, Adrienne, what does that mean, vendors we trust?
So Attilio and I, we both personally have vetted and used Bradley, in our personal and for our business. And we've known Bradley for a very long time. Now, of course, he had to go through the vetting process. And once we decided that, his values and goals were in alignment with ours, we, wanted to partner up with him and make him part of our team and make sure that we're introducing him to our clients and our coworkers. I mean, because he gives that same kind of service, to our customers that he does to us. And we're so happy to have Bradley as part of the vendors that we trust. So I think Attilio is trying to look for that page on our website. So we do have Bradley
highlighted. Pull it up right now. I'll have it here in a second.
It's okay. And we've done some videos, and Bradley is on our radio show every week with his insurance tip of the week and his moment of truth. So I guess while Attilio is trying to pull up the web page, why don't you share with us, what is the moment of truth? You've mentioned it a couple of times, Bradley, but tell us, what does that mean to you?
Moment of truth. So a lot of times it's when you really, really need someone by your side. Recently, I'm just going to give an example because it could better illustrate what I'm talking about, the moment of truth. There was an elderly client of mine. She's in the 90s. There was someone that was trying to insurance fraud on behalf of her. And so what I did was I brought in the family, and I said, hey, do you guys know this person that's trying to file a claim on behalf of your mother? And this elderly person has several homes, 4 or 5 homes, pretty wealthy. And what I did was we went down to the home with the daughters and sons, and we assessed what type of damage was done to the home. And instead of just saying, here's a couple of plumbers you could call, I said, okay, let's schedule it together so I can be there when the plumber's there, because the mother felt really uneasy since she was being taken advantage of. So the moment of truth, again, you're paying a premium. What is my agent going to be doing for me when I need help, or when I'm scared, or when my house burns down? The moment of truth is that you'll have me there.
And you are there. I mean, You've been there for us a couple times. I mean, we don't like the fact that we've had to use our insurance, but I know each time that we've had to, you've also been there for us as well. So that does not surprise me that you were there to help with this insurance fraud. So is that something that happens frequently with elderly people?
This was my first encounter, but it drew a flag when it was someone that's not even on the policy. So immediately I called the adjuster. I said, have you been talking to XYZ person? She goes, no, I've been insisting to speak to the client, the insured. So that XYZ person was calling the office saying, I need you to talk on behalf of me to make sure that this claim goes through. But this person was trying to sway the business to his or her contractor. And that's what kind of threw the flag. Like, that's usually not the process. But she kept pressing, we've got to use this contractor, and telling the client, we can get this through insurance. But you got to hurry up and call Allstate and give the authorization. But as for elderly, it doesn't happen much. But ever since I spoke to this one insured, this one person has done it to 3 or 4 other people. So, and this person sounds so innocent, part of a church. And so initially I believed this person until there was a lot of conflicting information coming out.
Yeah.
So as I dug deeper, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, that's good. So you are really involved in these claims, and when these red flags are coming up, when to question.
Right.
That's from your
no power of attorney was in our file, no contact. And then when I called the client, she immediately said, I don't even know who this person is. So I called the daughter immediately, because this insured, she's older, she's forgetful. So whenever we have meetings with this one client, I always have a daughter or son present on the phone or in person with us.
That's very smart.
Yeah,
that's very smart. So we do know there's a lot of realtors that watch our marketing and stuff like that, and so we want to be as helpful as we can to our realtor community, because it's a win-win, right? Maybe they'll be on the other side of a transaction with us, and with your help, maybe make that transaction smoother. What would be some top things that realtors need to know about doing business with you? Like how do you make their lives easier as a realtor?
I like to use you folks as a perfect example. And it's, when you
Yeah.
say vendors we trust, it's got to be, it's both ways. I trust you folks and you guys trust me. But I like to give examples. So one of them was flood insurance. Brad, what could I do to help me sell a property? Well, so and so, maybe you could go get an elevation certificate so we can cut out the unknown of how much flood insurance is going to cost. And sometimes those are the things that could get you 15 offers versus no offers. There was another instance where one of your realtors called me up and said, Brad, we're very close at closing. We need a flood certificate in order to close this transaction. And I said, well, we need an elevation certificate, or we can get you a flood certificate, binder, but it may put your client in a bad situation in a year when he needs to get an elevation certificate. So what are you talking, Brad? Well, maybe he's looking at $7,500 in premium in a year, although he's putting $5,000 now just to close on his property. So we collaborated and we said, you know what, the best thing to do, although I could get this $1 million sale, is to make sure that the client is aware that even if he can close on a property now, in a year from now, it may put him in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we presented it to the client. And in turn, this realtor still got a sale, 2-3 months later, but it built so much credibility. So sometimes working with an insurance agent on weird situations, you guys aren't professionals at insurance. I'm not a professional at real estate, but utilizing me could help out with the reputation. It could help out with further sales down the line. It could help save time and maybe say, you know what, the insurance on this Pro City property is probably going to be $2,800. So I know the loan is tight already. Maybe we should start looking at other properties. So, chiming in and calling me for quotes, which all your realtors do on a weekly basis, could make me as a value added to your business.
So I've got a follow-up question on that, Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
With in regards to the different types of insurance, especially here in Hawaii, like what should the realtors be looking out for as far as what's going to be a higher insurance premium? Like what kind of things in the house?
In the house. Okay, that's a little broad. So, are you talking about things that you could add to your insurance policy that could make it more expensive, or
I'm talking more like, let's say the buyers are out and about and they're looking at homes in particular areas, and just, I think the agent needs to be aware that certain ages of homes or types of structures that like they may be a little bit more than others. So could you touch on that?
Yeah, so good question. We're a little bit more lenient, but a lot of insurers are looking for 25 years or newer homes.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we look at roof condition. So if you have a bad wavy roof or a roof that has missing shingles, that could be an issue in getting insurance. We give the clients a year to get it redone because you're not going to have money just to re-roof right away.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be one hazard. Single wall versus double wall constructed homes. So Manoa, Poa Valley, Pro City, a lot of single wall constructed homes will have higher hurricane insurance costs. Hurricane and homeowners insurance will be required when you're purchasing a new home, but single wall constructed homes could drive up that cost.
Mm-hmm.
Flood insurance, like we spoke about earlier, AE zones and VE zones will be required at closing. AE zones will be homes that are along rivers, reservoirs, lakes, marinas. VE zones will be coastal properties that are like in Haleiwa, on the Waianae coast, parts of Lanikai. These homes are in VE zones, and they could be much more costly than AE zones, and this could make you possibly not qualify if you're not aware of it. What else is out there? Knob and tube wiring. If you go to a home and you see that the wiring hasn't been updated, that could prevent you from closing on your transaction. Cast iron plumbing. There's still some homes in Mo'iliili with cast iron plumbing. The reason why insurance companies don't like cast iron is that they're old and they're getting brittle. So the
Yeah.
chances of a pipe bursting or having a leak in your brand new purchase home is much more likely than something that's been updated.
Yeah, my dad lives in Kaneohe, and his sewer line runs from the front of the home back underneath the home to the backyard. And I think he was having some drainage issues, so they had the plumber send the camera down into the thing, and there were a couple of it was like it was deteriorating and was falling apart and had caved in, and so it was just a matter of time before the whole thing fell apart.
Yeah.
So it literally had to have, they used like underground robots or something like that to bore it out. That was $30,000.
Wow.
I had
to replace that sewer line.
3 new homes that we insure in the last
Yeah.
12 months where their sewer line in the yard, beneath the yard broke. And it was all new purchases because both sides, the seller and the buyer, they don't know what's going on in the pipes. But it was a disaster right off the back, and it's a big blow to a client after they already put their down payment and paying some mortgage. It could be a big blow to your transaction. Yeah.
So a couple of things I want to share with people. Just do a quick screen share of how. Let's see here. Is it working? There it is. Yeah. So I just, you guys have some great reviews. Almost 5 stars on the Google reviews. The other thing I wanted to show people, if you go to our website and click on resources, it's going to take. You can click right here, Vendors We Trust, which will take you to this page within it, and you can see all the other vendors that we got here. And talk a little bit about the partnership or how you guys work together with the lender when it's insurance and a mortgage on the buy side. Why is that relationship there important for getting the job done on the home buying?
Yeah, so for the people that's been through a transaction, it's stressful, especially the last 10 days of the transaction. And in the insurance certificate binder will be the last thing that you need.
That's okay if you got the dog. Everybody's used to dogs and kids in the background for video conferencing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Keep going.
So
it's real.
The last thing is a transaction is very stressful. So having a good relationship between lender, realtor, and insurance person is that they got to trust that when we say, Brad, we need the insurance binder, get it to us ASAP. They're confident that we're going to be able to furnish them the binder, because if we're at all late, a day late, that could change the rate in which Jody from Pac Rim Lending is offering. It could make them fall out of escrow, so it's very important to have that relationship and the trust, knowing that we're going to be dependable when Jody says, Brad, we need the insurance binder.
I think people need to keep in mind when you're buying a home, the cost of your insurance could affect your financing. So you need to know that now, not like 2 minutes before you're ready to close. So get your, that's why it's important to have that connection between again, like Bradley said, the realtor, the insurance, and the lender. I'm gonna do today's Friday flashback. Did you guys know that today's Friday flashback?
It was Friday night. So now we're doing a flashback Friday too.
Flashback Friday. This is an example of how long we've been in business with Bradley. Take a look at this video and look at the date.
Okay.
But there's no.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
There's no.
What year? When is that?
2015.
Wow.
2015. And Bradley, if you remember correctly, this is not the oldest video we did with you, because we did one when we were with Remax.
Yeah, with
Remax. Yeah, I remember in front of that was up there for the longest time, and then we reshot this one. So we've actually, if I had to guess, I think we've been kind of doing business with you like almost
well over 10 years.
I want to say like maybe
over 10 years.
Long time.
Yes, yeah.
A decade.
So
we're in the double digits. with our relationship.
Yeah. So you and Adrienne look the same, but now I got the Hawaiian mullet going because I never have my haircut since March, since COVID.
You have the fine mullet
But
and you got more gray.
yeah,
Definitely.
and yeah. So what's been your homeowners insurance, and getting insurance is interconnected with the real estate industry right now. People buying and selling. What have you been seeing in your sector of the real estate industry as far as on the insurance side? Still a lot of business, busy?
Yeah, it's I was talking to a lender Wednesday evening, and it's funny because I can tell when the rates drop because we get a whole waterfall of mortgagee updates and payments because people are refinancing. So like last week, I could tell the rates were kind of maybe not the greatest. It was a little slow, but this week, I mean, 15, 20 a day of people just trying to refinance, and we need updated binders and loan numbers on there. So I can kind of tell. And so jokingly told her, I bet you the rates are low. And she said, how do you, she goes, yeah, it's low. We're trying to get all these things closed. So, they were working till late at night. And I was trying to do, again, my side of the transaction and getting them binders to 8:30 at night to make sure they can close on the loans. But I do also see a lot of new purchases, so I can tell that the real estate market's been fairly strong. And I like to talk to my partners out there at all the different companies, and they're saying, yeah, it's strong. Little lack of inventory.
Yes.
But I can tell that the real estate's still strong out there. A lot of multiple offers, and people are wanting to close. And so I see the real estate market to be fairly strong right now.
Well, and we're coming down to our last 5 minutes, and so here's my recommendations for the realtors out there. All these vendors that we utilize and work with, they're critically important in doing their part to make sure that the transactions go through. So Adrienne, do we highly recommend Bradley and his team?
Yeah. Well, Bradley is he's definitely a team player.
Yeah.
We've had some firsthand experience to really see him in action. Unfortunately, right? Like, we get insurance to protect ourselves, and when things don't go right. So
or the moment of truth.
The moment of truth, and he really stands behind that moment of truth. So you can definitely count on Bradley and his team.
You're a realtor, make an appointment. Go talk to Bradley and his team. Make an introduction over the phone or a Zoom conference. As far as the pandemic, what kind of procedures are different maybe in your office, or how you're interacting with clients now? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got all the sneeze guards up. I have all the safety precautions in the office. But recently, with the increase of cases, we've locked our door again. We're inside. Okay. We're telling people to call if they're going to drop by with a payment or to pick up an insurance card, because we want to protect not only the clients but my staff as well. We're all not strong with technology, but I've been starting to use some Skype and Microsoft Teams, to utilize some face-to-face contact, so they still feel, again, that I'm paying a premium to get personal touch from Brad and his team. Yeah. So we are evolving. If I stay left with the old school ways, I'm going to fall behind. So, it was funny because Adrienne just says, I know you're not so active on Facebook and Instagram. And I know that if I don't start getting active with it, my brand name is just going to pass me by, while others are, very active on it. So I know that I have to evolve and get with the new times, because if not, I'll be left in the dust.
Well, people want to hear from you, Bradley. Every time I see that you do post, you always get so many people that are commenting and loving to hear from you. So just get out there and connect through the digital or the virtual worlds. We want to hear from you more.
Yes. Other changes. This is news. Big for Allstate agents. We're going to stop taking cash payments starting September 1st. So, there are some people that still only want to pay in cash. And the only explanation I can think why Allstate's doing it is, some people slide in under the door and now payments go missing. or to also stop the face-to-face contact with cash payments. So, I just want people to know that if they are listening or are on this Facebook Live, that if you do pay in cash, it's going to stop starting September 1st.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
They're forcing their customers to also come along in the more virtual and with the automation. So I know, for example, with our property management, everything is done on the website, on the web portal. Rent is received, everything's paid out. So I know Duke and his team, they've done a great job